Fairy ring is a very common problem that many homeowners have to deal with each year. And it's more of a problem to the homeowner, and it can be a very severe problem to the golf course manager as well. And fairy ring basically is not a true disease. In other words, it changes the properties of the soil. And this is one of the ways that we have a problem with fairy ring. In other words, it changes the physical properties as well as the chemical properties of the soil. And fairy ring itself can be caused by up to 50 different fungal organisms. And these organisms actually reside in either the thatch layer or the immediate area to this particular layer. Basically, fairy ring manifests itself as three different types, or three different symptom types. Type 1 is the most destructive symptom of fairy ring. In fact, this particular symptom actually causes the grass to die in a ring. And it could be a very severe problem, especially to the golf course person. In this particular case, the fungal organisms actually cause the soil to become hydrophobic. In other words, it becomes water repellent. So as a consequence of this particular disorder or problem, the grass actually dies as a result of lack of moisture. Okay, now type 2 fairy ring basically is a ring of taller, greener, fast-growing grass. This is type 2. And a lot of times we may or may not see mushrooms that are associated with these fairy ring fungi. But this is type 2 when you have that ring of taller, greener grass. And to manage this particular symptom type, the homeowner basically needs to provide a little bit of light fertilization to basically mask this ring of taller, greener grass. Now, the third type of fairy ring is very common in the home lawn. This type of symptom basically is a ring or a partial ring of mushrooms that tend to pop up overnight. And we see fairy ring a lot of times during the hot, humid times of the year. And they're basically curiosities. These mushrooms that pop up, however, may be poisonous. So we recommend that the homeowner remove those mushrooms as soon as they see them, because they can cause problems to pets or young children that may want to sample these particular things out in the yard. Now, as I mentioned, type 1 is the most destructive type. So it's really important that if this problem is diagnosed, and it needs to be diagnosed by a professional. It's a very difficult problem to diagnose just based on symptoms, so a laboratory exam would be required to confirm fairy ring. But those areas in type 1 actually need to be aerified. In other words, water needs to get down into those dry areas. That's the point behind this, is to water those areas with quite a bit of water to replenish that soil moisture in those particular areas. So basically, fairy ring may be classified more as a problem rather than a true disease, because as I mentioned, these organisms actually change the physical properties of the soil rather than attack the plant directly. Now, there are some fungicides that are available that will inhibit but not control fairy ring. So these materials are going to have to be reapplied on a regular basis to keep these organisms in check.
To learn more, contact your county extension agent and follow the links in this section.